Well, hello YouTube, this is Layout123, and this is another look at some of my Ertl collection. And I've got a few more bits to show you this time, so I've already shown you all these great locomotives, and I think it's time I showed you some of the new bits to my collection. So without any further ado, let me introduce you to Bill, and this is Bill. He is 1990, so he's quite old, and he's mint in box, completely locked away in the ice, which is the term that we normally use for the Bachmann locos. And it's just a great little model, I have to say. In the box it looks pretty stunning. The box artwork is brilliant, and there you can see the writing, high quality die cast metal. And if we turn it round and have a look at the back, it is plain. We've got the date as well, just there, and then we've got all the other locos in this collection. And for example, I didn't know this, but we've got, look at that, up here, motorised, remote control Thomas here. I didn't realise Ertl did that sort of thing. I just thought Ertl did the die-cast model, so that was something I learnt from buying these. I bought these only a couple of days ago, so these are pretty new to me anyway, but I just think the artwork is great. And then up at the top there you can see we've got the word Bill, which is obviously his name. One half of the twins, Bill and Ben, and if I turn it around to the back, I believe Ben's on there somewhere. Yep, down the bottom, and there is Bill at that side. Yeah, they're made in China, but this is back in a time when well, toys were made to a higher quality and a higher standard than they are now, and most of that is metal, and it just is stunning. I'd like to open it, but at the moment I'm trying to resist the temptation, really, because it just looks quite nice in its box. Also, if we look on the back at the bottom, we got the little Mattel sticker as well on there. So see that, the Mattel lion? So I'm not sure 100% what that is all about, whether Mattel were involved in Ertl. You probably know better than me. And if you do know that, then please leave a comment down below. But yeah, I mean, the artwork on the box is just brilliant. And then that does sort of bring me on to the next one I'm going to talk about, which is Trevor the Traction Engine. And this one is just brilliant because look at that face there. It is one of the strangest sort of angry looking faces that I've ever seen on one of these models. If we have a look on the back as well, we've got the same sort of jargon and all the different things that are available to you if you want to collect this stuff. And I do have a model of this, quite a modern one, and it does seem to sort of be based around this Ertl one, but the Ertl one's nicer because there's more detail on it. I couldn't find it to show you for this video, but if I do find it, I'll put it on another video. But with my one, the wheel isn't as realistic and that sort of thing. If I'm going to be ultra critical, I would have said they should have painted the wheels black, but we can't really be ridiculous. These are old toys. And there in the bottom corner we have the same as on the Ben, the sort of limited to Thomas logo there. Free rolling wheels, which is something that it also said on Bill. And yeah, it's very nice again, a very, very nice representation of the character. And the packaging, which sort of as well makes it for me, is because with the Bill one, you had it in the colour of the engine, and then with this one you also have it with the colour as well. And it's nice that they didn't just do the locos. Now so often you just see it's Thomas, Percy in the sets, but Ertl went out their way and did all the different locos. They also tell you at the bottom which one sort of you got, if that makes sense. So like this is number 4023, and then Bill was 1740, but that, which is quite nice. And I think all in all, when you look as well, you can see the crossover. The back is pretty much the same on all of these, but both have that little Mattel lion on the back, which is very, very interesting. And now we're going to move on to a later piece. This is 1999 Ertl, but I mean, it is just another immense piece. On the back again, you can see the little Mattel lion in the bottom corner. And yeah, once again, just another great well model. I mean, it's the canal boat that featured in the programme, and it just looks so brilliant. I mean, when I bought it, the guy said to me you could just use it as one for your model railway, and it is pretty much that sort of scale. Well, Ertl, as I've said before, I think in the last one, is the perfect scale for that. The wheels are wide enough for 00 gauge track, so they are perfect for that sort of thing. And if we also look at the back of this one, it has the list of characters, and on this one it is a lot longer. And I don't know whether this is coincidence, but the two twins, Bill and Ben, are both together there on there. Ironically. A little historical note as well, which is something nice. You don't get that at all now on toys nowadays. It's just sort of very rare you'd see something like that. And then it also sort of, this is the equivalent of a modern day collector's card. Like with the Thomas Minis, you get your little card to collect them with. This is the modern equivalent. But you just realise how toys change over time. If I just give you an example of that with well, Henry, and let me just show you how he's changed over time. And yes, you are all probably thinking, is that really the same character? But yes. So on the left here we have the original Ertl one, which is a very nice representation. I did talk about this one when I did the review of him, and this is 1987 on the bottom of him. And yeah, tender, completely showing all the right set of wheels, and pretty brilliant. And then we move on to the Golden Bear one, which is, well, just completely different in every aspect. I mean, for starters, look at the tender. Well, there is some sort of style of tender, but on all of these, in fairness, the tender is attached. Not the right wheelbase. This is 2006. But what ups this one for me is the face looks more realistic than on that one. The face is a bit, well, it's good, but it's not as good as this in its own way. And the thing with the Golden Bear stuff is there's only the coupling on the back. But it is very, very nice stuff, Golden Bear. Something worth collecting. And now if we move all the way up to the present day Henry, this is the Thomas Mini Henry when it focuses, and that is a whole different kettle of fish. Once again, his face has changed. He's a little, but these are really just little fun toys, the Thomas Minis. They aren't really, if I say, well, they are serious, but it doesn't make sense. And this is one in a winter theme, so. But I mean, that is just, I mean, they're all great in their own ways. If we're going on realism, we've got to give that surely to the Ertl. If we're going on the face, we've got to give it to the Golden Bear. And if we're going on fun, and probably, I don't really know about playability, but certainly fun, you've got to go for the Thomas Mini. But it doesn't end there. I've got one last little surprise for you with the Ertl collection, and then after that, we'll be done. So you've got to ask yourself, what would Thomas be without his driver? And what would the driver be without the fat controller? Yep, these two are great, 1999, and they're the same era as Bill and Trevor the Traction Engine. Great toys, great fun, and how realistic are they? They're just brilliant. They look so much like the TV characters, all metal, completely die cast. The fat controller is in perfect condition. And something that somebody pointed me out is that with the Ertl stuff, they did a lot of crossover pieces, like cars from certain programs. Like say it was the main character's car, they'd also make that the fat controller's car as well, which is quite funny. But yeah, I mean, you can't beat something like that, can you? Fun with the Ertl stuff. And that is pretty much everything I've got to say for this video. So thank you very much for watching, everybody, and see you all very soon. Bye bye, everybody. Thank you very much for watching.